Alrighty guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to Dirtwiz. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today I am out on the mighty DR650. This is just a little shakedown ride I'm doing because I've got a brand spanking new Acerbis tank on here. I'm super happy with the blue. I gotta start off by saying I can see the gas through it. It's actually a tiny bit translucent. I don't really like the look of the natural colored ones. I think blue matched the bike perfectly. But yeah, we're just out on a little shakedown. I've got a little inline fuel filter here set up. I had to relocate my turn signals just slightly. By relocate, I mean hacksaw one of the nibs off and just move them slightly forward. But yeah, also I finally got the speedometer working again, so that's a huge plus. No longer looking down at it constantly when it's just sitting there at 0, and I can actually track the miles I'm putting on this bike, so that is quite nice. Alrighty. So yeah, today we're just doing a little bit of a shakedown on the DR. I am getting this bike ready to go on a huge trip around BC. This will be a week-long adventure ride, essentially. And I just really want to get this bike ready to handle what we're about to put it through. Because I mean, there's going to be a lot of highway miles, but there's going to be a lot of off-road miles. I wouldn't necessarily call this a BDR. It's a little bit more of a hybrid of a massive adventure trip where we're going to be going and camping and then doing little videos of the trails on the spots that we're camping at. So I plan to shoot a lot of videos from all the cool places we're going to go explore. Definitely stay tuned. The goal is to see some incredible views, and here in BC we have no shortage of incredible views. So far with the Acerbis tank, not too bad. I actually feel like it's a bit more comfortable for my legs to rest on than the stock tank. I mean, with the stock tank it was so skinny that I was like slipping forward a lot, but now if I squeeze my legs right here, I'm actually a bit more stable and rooted in one place. So I find that pretty cool. I honestly haven't noticed a weight difference pretty much at all. But that being said, I haven't filled this tank right to the brim yet, so. But I mean, the stock tank's like 13 something liters and this is 20 liters, so should give me a reasonable amount of range. Well, also, I mean, not being too heavy. I mean, I don't think it was necessary to get the 6.6 gallon tank. I don't know. I like the look of this one a little bit more. That huge tank is kind of hideous. Yeah, so far, performing good, comfortable. It is holding gasoline. Oh man, this bike is so fun on the trails. It really is. It is definitely nowhere near as nimble as the little XT250, of course. But man, there's just something about that 650 torque. Brings an instant smile to your face. Oh yeah. Let's see, I think we got another trail right here. Ooh. Right or left? Let's go right. Let's check it out. In a little bit, we'll go up to a pretty awesome view, and we'll get off the bike and show you what I have done, and then what I plan to do still before the big week-long BC trip. Oh, it's so beautiful in here. This is one of my favorite little testing ground trails. It's pretty mellow, but it does make a nice little loop. There's a couple rocky sections, and in the spring and fall there are some crazy mud pits out here, but middle of summer it's nice, dry, mellow like this, so perfect spot to come and do a little shakedown, a couple loops, a couple laps. Just testing out how the bike's feeling, what little adjustments I might need to do to the suspension or ergos before I go. Ooh, a little hill climb here. Nail it. And yeah, let's go right again, might as well. That way we'll get to the view quicker. So I've got Tusk Waypoints, front and rear on the DR, and they're okay. They're not bad. I like them and I don't like them pretty much evenly. Which, I mean, they're pretty much a 50-50. I know Tusk says they're a 70-30, but I'd say they're a... Okay, let's say 60-40. They're a 60-40. Yeah, no, they're a 50-50. Hi, little buddy. Watch out. Go on, little guy. Go on. Cute little bastard. So I like the Tusk Waypoints. I like the look. They feel pretty good most of the time. I mean, they feel excellent on the road. Great on the road. Off-road, they kind of leave me wanting just a little bit more until you air them down substantially, like 15 psi, at which point all of a sudden they just like transform into a different tire. They get oodles of grip that I don't know, it's crazy. However, on a DR650, that you're kind of treading dangerously close into pinch flat territory when you're around like 14-15 psi, especially with what I use this bike for as an adventure bike loaded down with gear. So these tires are incredibly stiff. The sidewall is crazy stiff, and to get good traction of them, you got to air them down quite a lot. And then when they're above 20, they kind of just slip around on everything. Rocks, dust, mud. I will say they're actually quite terrible in the mud, unfortunately, whether you air them down or not. So, I mean, I'm not specifically unhappy with them, but they are leaving a little bit to be desired. Like for how aggressive and good they look, I'm not super impressed with their off-road performance until you lower the pressure. But like I said, when you've got a fully loaded adventure bike, even a lightweight adventure bike like the DR650, running lower pressures is not necessarily the best idea. So I think they would be good on a little bike, say like the XT250 or the CRF 300L, some like a lightweight dual sport. I think they would perform maybe a little bit better because you could run them at a bit lower of PSI. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on them so far. I'm going to run these tires until they are absolutely into the ground. I've got 2,000 kilometers on them so far, and it doesn't look like they've worn down at all. And that's a huge mix of, it's like, I'd probably say 800 kilometers of off-road and then 1,200 kilometers of highway. And they haven't worn down even one bit, so I mean, part of me hopes they last because they're good on the road. They're half decent off-road, but part of me also wishes that they would hurry up and run out so that I could put a new set of tires on here. I think I'm going to go with Kenda K270s on my next set of tires for the Dirt, because I've been really impressed with those tires, or at least the front tire on the front of my XT250. Also, the Kendas are super easy to spoon on if you have flats. They're super soft, easy to change. The Tusk Waypoints, same as the D-Sport. Wow, these are stiff tires. I have a video showing my first flat that I got with a Tusk Waypoint, and it was just it was gnarly. It was quite gnarly. Yeah, the waypoints are also sketchy and gravel. They're just, I don't know. Gravel, sand, they don't do very well at all. They can do it, they just don't do very well at it. Yeah. So a quick little overview of my DR650 here. Getting ready for this big trip, I've done basic maintenance, brake pads, wheel bearings, oil change, all that stuff. I think it's just about ready. My bike here has about 53,000 kilometers. Since the speedo wasn't working for a couple weeks, that's just kind of a guess. But I think, what does my dash say? 52,909 kilometers. We'll just be generous and say 54,000. And I think she's got quite a bit more left in her. This trip is going to be several thousand kilometers. I'd say probably in the ballpark of 3,000 or 4,000. So I've been really trying to get the bike up to snuff. Since we're going to be doing quite a few stretches of off-road, I decided instead of carrying a Rotopax like I did on my last adventure, I was just going to bite the bullet and get the Acerbis 5.3 gallon tank. This is my first ride with it so far. I honestly love it. It looks really, really good on the bike. I had a little trouble mounting it up. This is the second iteration of this tank, and it has a little bit different mounting system than it used to. It was kind of a little bit of a wrestling match to get it to fit on there right with the seat, but at the end of the day, we got it done. I think it ended up looking pretty nice. I've got a Screens for Bikes windscreen here from a fella named Peter in Australia. I think these are some of the best looking windscreens available for the DR. I am super, super pleased with it so far. It takes a lot of the wind off your chest, and yeah, for a longer trip, I really do enjoy it. And also, it's got a lot of colors available instead of just clear or, you know, the dark tint. The cheaper ones on Amazon, kind of a little bit smaller, and they just don't fit the cowling quite as nicely as this one does. I think it's a very elegant screen, and Peter at Screens for Bikes has done an excellent job designing these. I've got some Moose Racing handguards. These came on the bike from the previous owner. I love these so far. They're nice and large, and they actually block a lot of wind. They've also survived a lot of drops without bending. And I wish I could say the same about my Acerbis handguards on the XT, but those things bend like tin. So these ones have sustained the weight of the DR falling on them full force. So they've been awesome so far. And we already talked about the Tusk Waypoints, front and rear. I've got about 2,000, maybe 2,500 kilometers on them so far, and they still look completely, almost brand new. Which is, I mean, that's a good thing. They're taking quite a long time to wear down. But, yeah, I mean, they're all right so far. I've got these, I think this is the Happy Trails luggage rack system on the back here. This came with the bike when I bought it from the previous owner. When you don't have luggage on it, these double as crash bars themselves. These are indestructible. I have I have dropped this bike a couple of times, and these just, wow. Basically a roll cage for the rear end of the bike here, to be quite honest. I should probably swap in at least one new turn signal for the rear before I go. This one's kind of hanging on for dear life. We've got the Pro Cycle seat by Saddleman. It's a pretty comfortable seat. I thankfully didn't get the chance to ride on the stock DR seat, but if it's as bad as people say, I'll have to say that I'm pretty pleased with this seat. I've got a 14 tooth sprocket in the front here, just because I found the stock gearing was very, very, very tall, and I do like to take this bike on some trails, so I put in the 14 tooth, and honestly, it's been quite nice. I noticed it was a little bit more snappy with the throttle response, a little bit more torque on tighter technical trails, and it's not that bad on the highway. I can still cruise at 100 kilometers an hour, and the bike is just absolutely chill. I could cruise all day long like that. For how much of a difference it made off-road, it didn't make that much of a difference on the highway, so I've been very pleased with that so far. It's going to stay in there for the whole trip. So we've done a full entire front fork rebuild with bushings, seals, and everything. I've still got the stock springs in there, but we put in a little bit extra fork oil and some washers as some extra preload. That way I can take them out and kind of adjust it how I need. the springs on the DR are ludicrously soft. So I am definitely planning on doing something someday about that, getting some stiffer springs, front and rear. Or a buddy of mine has some YZ450 forks that are ready to swap onto a DR650, so we could go that route someday as well. And I mean, a DR650 with some race bike forks on the front could be pretty unstoppable. So let me know down in the comments what you guys would do to the front suspension. But for the sake of this trip, we're just going to run it stock suspension as is, fully loaded down. We're going to live for the punishment. So there's like 2 or 3 things I need to do before this trip coming up in a week. I need to get a charging situation for my phone and cameras. That is one thing I'm definitely going to need. And I need to make a bigger toolbox. And I think we're going to go with some PVC pipe. And we're going to make a PVC toolbox that comes out to at least here. So I can fit my tire spoons in there. I can fit some full-size wrenches, because the ones that come in the stock tool kit here are extremely dinky. So that is one mod that definitely has to happen before I go. And I might make a quick little short or a video on that. Leave a comment down below if that's something you'd like to see. That's a very common mod on many dual sports. So we're going to be doing that. And what else? Honestly, I think she's pretty much ready to go. Yeah. Anyways, let's hit the trails. Sun is setting. So far, it's going pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with the comfort having this large tank on here. Doesn't get in my way as much as I thought it would. And yeah, it's quite comfortable with how your legs sit on it. Quite nice. Only good things to say so far. Ooh, what's this? Excuse me, sir. You can't park there. Weird. This is one of the local mudding spots, as you can see. Dried up right now, but whew, in the spring, this is one of the spots. Well, we'll take another quick little loop in the forest here before it gets real dark. Wait, has someone been making some single track? Someone's been making some single track here. Ooh. Why not? We going right or left? Chat, are we going left or right? Let's go left. Oh my goodness. Very fresh single track. Oh yeah. Okay. I guess we're going back around that way. You absolutely can single track a DR650. Yes. Is it the most enjoyable experience? Well, no. But they don't call it the bushpig for nothing. Alright, you know what? Whew. Yeah. Well, that was cool. Let's see where this one goes. Oh no! Wow, whoever's building this single track loves these hairpin turns. All right. Goodness gracious. Ooh. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention. I have the Acerbis plastic skid plate. Very glad to have that on there. It's been quite nice so far, holding up great. I'm way too overdressed to be hitting single track right now. Sweating my balls off. Hey, what do you guys think? You want to see the DR actually go on some real, nicely built single track? A comparison between the DR650 and the XT250 on single track? That is something we could definitely get done. I think that might be a fun little challenge. Well, not a challenge for the XT. Most certainly a little bit of a challenge for me on the DR. But that might make a fun little bit of content. Let's see, where's this one go? I don't actually know. Well, I mean, it goes back up, but see if it gets gnarly. Oh yeah. The mighty bushpig, everyone. This bike is so much fun. Oh, this one actually looks like it goes somewhere. Wow, this one really goes somewhere. I wonder where we'll end up. Yeah, and I honestly have no idea where we're going. We're getting awfully close to the mountain there. Oh, this is steep. Huh. Wow. This is a cool little spot, but I don't know how much further I'd like to go in here. Seems like it might just go forever and ever. Whoa! Whoa! This is cool! Okay, I am glad we did not turn back. Western tank and lining code. That is a big water tank. Holy crap. Wow. Wonder what kind of view you could get on top of that thing. Well, now we know where that trail ends up. Huh. Okay, so we came out right there. And I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure. I think I know where I am now. Woo. Oh yeah, I totally know where I am. Now there is a gate, yes. But yeah, it looks like we've got a cheeky little access trail to get out of here. Sweet. Loving the tank so far, loving how the bike's set up. I think this was a pretty successful little shakedown ride. It's feeling really good. A couple little things to iron out. I need a charging system. and I need a better tool holding system in the back there. And that's looking like pretty much it so far. So I'm excited to film a lot of content while I'm away on that trip for you guys. Should be some pretty wicked views. And yeah, thanks for coming along on the ride today. This little shakedown plus bike setup. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in to Dirtwiz. Peace.